Hey everybody, Peter, John F. and I got together and talked about sunny day real estate, and then afterwards Peter poses something that compares U2 to Radiohead, and that naturally gets us to Weezer somehow. Enjoy.
Yeah, I felt that Zooropa walked so Kid A could run. Like, both U2 and Radiohead, had a really successful album at the height of their powers, and they're like, yeah, let's just put out 10 songs of electronic shit and see what happens.
Yeah, blips and bloops.
Yeah, you know, I don't like U2, first of all.
Ah,
It's not something I ever really go back to. But yeah, I think the whole Zooropa, even some of the Octung Baby stuff, like they just come off as so pretentious, and like it has seemed very like comical and very like tongue in cheek and like very like yeah, kind of showy, like in a like, oh, look at us, we're just goofing around. Like Radiohead seemed kind of like always like the opposite of that. Like they were really trying to stay away from that. Like you never saw Radiohead do like a Zoo TV tour, and like it always seemed like they were more insular and more introspective, and U2 was being more like here we're putting on a show, like we're putting on like it's an act, you
mm-hmm.
know. So I mean, and that could be just because I like, and I don't know, I haven't listened to any of these, like you talked about that Lemon song. Like, I have not heard that song in 25 years at least. So that could be part of it. Is that I just don't ever go back to it. But that's just my thoughts on it.
I do. I mean, I absolutely get it, because you think about pop specifically, discotheque, like is very like it's very, hey, look at us, like we're gonna do this thing. But that's also kind of what I love about it, like how showy it is, how there's almost like a Vegas thing to specific. I mean, I know musically it's more Euro, but like discotheque specifically makes me think of a Vegas show. And like, I don't know, in a way I fucking love that. And I would say that I think Peter's inference is less apples to apples. It's more like, because U2, it's inarguable that U2 was huge, and they took a sharp left fucking turn. And after OK Computer, even though like they did start leaning into like computer sounds on that record, it's still the leap to Kid A is still a sharp fucking turn. And I think that's more. I mean, unless I'm putting words in your mouth, Peter.
No, that's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah. Although I would be curious to see like Radiohead with a sense of humor. Like I'd love to see them like fuck around and just make a fucking show. What if all this time he was just playing a character? Would that completely dissuade you? Would that turn you off, John?
Depends. I mean, yeah, it's there's always been kind of a there's always been kind of a wink to some of their stuff, like yeah, like, and then some of the videos, especially, like they do have a sense of humor, and like live, especially if you see them, they do a lot more stuff and they play around. But I they're the thing is like they're not, it's they don't come off as like full of themselves. They just seem very down to earth, and like we come on, we play the music. That's what it's about. Like that's what those are the bands that I like. They're like, it's about the music. It's not about the persona. It's not about the act. It's not about, how much money we made here. It's not about, moving units and all that. It's about let's play the music and let's let that be the focus.
I've unfortunately yet to see Radiohead. One of the few bucket list bands I have.
Yeah, I've seen them 3 times, maybe 4.
Yeah, 3 times I've seen them.
Yeah.
I don't even know who else would be on my bucket list at this point. I saw Weezer, and they were a bucket list band, and I'm like, oh man, I finally checked them off the list, and this is what I get. Aw, bummer. I saw them with Panic at the Disco, and like, I'm willing to give Panic a shot whenever they come up on the show, but they are starting from way fucking behind because I never really liked any of their radio stuff. And then when I didn't even see them, like we were at a restaurant, I went with Matt Wade, and he was eating a sub, and we were sitting there, you know, like half a mile away from the amphitheater where we were going to see Weezer, and I could hear them covering Bohemian Rhapsody, and it was one of the worst things I've ever heard in my life. I was like, this is terrible. Who is this? Panic at... ugh. What are they doing?
What song did Weezer just release a cover of? Some Metallica song or something?
Oh, yeah, really? They did Enter Sandman.
Ugh. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Of all the Metallica songs, I mean...
we were listening to it at work and, like, laughing at them.
Yeah. They've finally reached that point. Like, Red Album, I was able to laugh with them still. And, like, from what I understand, and I haven't even really delved into anything much past Red Album. Like,
here's an alternate history for you. Like, what if everyone hadn't hated Pinkerton when it came out and hadn't, like, broken his mind?
Yeah, seriously.
If that had come out and been, like, what would they have continued to be? Like, if Matt Sharp hadn't left to do the rentals, like, what would they have gone on to do?
Interesting exercise there. What would Weezer have gone on to do? You tell me. If you'd like to hear the rest of that conversation, it is from After the Fact number 88. You can get that by going to patreon.com/ohhijustin. $1 a month gets you in the door and gets you all sorts of great bonus content and other audio content for $1. Great news, everybody. Also, if you'd like to hear our conversation on Sunny Day Real Estate, it's forward one episode, so just push play.